Right, we should be recording now. Lovely stuff. We
Okay.
all...
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Right, hello, I am Vincent Bibby, and I am talking to Dean Brandon, if you'd like to introduce yourself.
Yep. I'm Dean Brandon. I am a prop master. Um, what else do you want to know?
Well, what does that entail? What's a day-to-day life for you?
Prop master, big old job. No one knows what it's about, but it's all about basically controlling the whole set. So I have to do logistics of transport, crewing. I have to bring all the crew in. I have to get all the props, dress the props, return the props. It's a massive job. It's so busy, so complicated. You've got to be really good with controlling everything. You've got to worry all the continuity issues because nothing's filmed sequentially.
No.
So having to keep the things back and not return them too soon, and it's just massive. Especially the bigger the job is, the harder it is, obviously.
Yeah, obviously. So how did you originally get into the industry, and was it something that you always wanted to do?
A bit of a strange one. I was made redundant from a job. I met the guy I used to know in a pub, and he knew about my skills, so nothing to do with TV, and he could do with me on the job, so he brought me in just to help him out, and I never looked back. That was just addressing some stuff, just because I could tie ropes and dress a house and had skills with my hands. Yeah, he found me useful, employed me, and then he's sort of left the industry now, and I've sort of taken over.
Oh, fair enough. So how many different roles would you say you've had over your course of working in the industry?
Not many really. I've sort of kept in the props area, starting doing dressing props, which is just under control of someone else, and then going on to standby props, which is standby as in standing by the camera, sort of doing
Yeah.
hand props. And now I'm prop master, so now I employ the dressers, the standbys. I've done some design stuff, not really my thing. I've done some other sides of it, which aren't really my thing. Prop master is where I like to be. It's my current role and it's my favourite role.
Right, perfect. What was the production that you were most proud to have worked on and why?
Always like working on everything. A lot of the stuff everyone says, they talk about how good is the job.
Yeah,
Um, they ask about how do I describe it? The quality of the job, how special is the job. Everyone thinks it's got to be a special film, but unfortunately, with me, it's who pays, who asked me to work for them, and I'll sort of take the job on. Favorite one was a film called Hurricane, which is about World War II sort of flying aces, Battle of Britain. It was a story about the Polish pilots coming over from Poland and the struggles that they had, and
right.
how amazing they were in the UK, actually virtually winning the Battle of Britain for us. A sort of very untold story. And when I read the script, it was really, I got really passionate about it. The production had so many problems, a lot of it financial, um, but we sort of like got through it all with, because we wanted to make it all, and we had all the old pilots' families came over to visit us while we were filming, and
Right.
it really sort of made us passionate
Yeah,
about the project. The
I
project.
can imagine so. So how long were you working on that project and when was it?
That was about 3 years ago. It took us. It was 3 months filming, but we had real hurricanes and Spitfires,
Right.
and it was amazing. All
Sounds
World War Two. So we had White Waltham Aerodrome. We had to dress it up as a World War Two aerodrome with gun emplacements and loads of old World War Two planes. It was just amazing. It really was.
nice. What was the best bit of advice that you've ever received while working in the industry?
Advice. Cool. That's a funny one.
You can think about that one, that's fine.
Yeah. No. It's really about taking your time and talking to people, finding out what's actually required of you,
Yeah,
actually listening to people, and if you're not sure, ask again. Don't just try and muddle on. It really is just about listening to people and working it all out.
fair enough. You said that you had most of these skills anyway. Do you know how most people get into your industry role?
We get some people through a sort of collegey sort of. There's an apprenticeship that comes through Pinewood Studios and the BBC, but most of the guys employ, I employ because they got skills, from
Right.
outside industries. It's sort of a lot of it is like I need people that can do building almost, painting
Right.
walls, constructing sets, and then I employ so many people with different skills. Some people that can unload a 7.5 ton lorry really quickly, other people that know how to dress a beautiful, delicate set. It's a massive skill range. So we have to sort of try and bring people in that tick all those boxes. Yeah.
So how many people would you say that you've hired to work for you over the course of your time?
Blimey. Well, currently on my crew, I've got 16 on my crew, plus I employ 2 transport companies. So it's quite a big old crew.
Yeah, quite a big old crew.
Everything going.
So would you say it's more important to specialize in something? Because it seems like you hire one person to do one set job rather than hiring somebody who does many jobs just okayly.
I know what you're saying. It's
Yeah.
very difficult to have people specific to one job. They have to sort of cross over. But when you go there, go to a set,
Yeah,
and you're setting it up, you look at all your skills and you go, right, okay, John, you go over and do that because you're particularly good at doing curtains. So and so, you go and do that because you're particularly good at, setting up some carpet, doing dressing on the walls. But we all have to be able to do each other's roles.
so it's playing to people's strengths as long as you're strong at a lot of things. Yeah, perfect. And what is a piece of advice that you would give to somebody that nobody's given to you?
Ooh, well, the one that always annoys me is the amount of people that sort of everyone's so quick on sending an email out or a message out. They don't think properly first. It's like spend a bit of time and actually think through what you're going to ask. I always say to people, just count to 10 before you press the send, because half the time there's ways that you can find this information out, and there's a lot of people that are so busy, and to suddenly someone come up and just ask something really simple, just spend a little bit of time yourself first, before you hit that email thing. Everyone's got a phone with internet on it. You can start looking things up. You can ask your fellow workmates as well before you come up to someone like me and ask me the question. Sometimes it makes you look a bit stupid as well when you ask that silly question. It's just spend a bit of time first.
So you're saying it's better to, do something once well than have to go back and do it a second time.
Use a bit of initiative and just.
A bit of initiative.
Yeah.
You also said, it's really important. Said a bit of advice was to always ask for help if you need it. So where do you find that balance between initiative and asking for help?
I've employed a guy on this job who I'm taking on to my next job, partly because he's so good. He seems to ask the right questions, and that he's tried first. He hasn't just, gone straight away. If I send him out to buy something, he'll get on the internet and he'll go see if he can find it sourced somewhere, rather than just going, Dean, I can't find it. And then I go, well, have you even looked on your phone? That sort of thing.
It's having faith.
Takes those simple basic steps first, then he contacts me. But usually there's a fine line between using initiative and suddenly doing everything wrong. So he'll find it out. He'll check with me, say, I've looked up this, I found it at such and such a supplier. And I go, yeah, perfect. Off you go.
Cool. Well, perfect. Thank you for taking the time to talk to me. I'm sure it's quite busy at the moment. Just one more thing that I'm sure you've been asked a lot. How has the coronavirus impacted you during your work?
We've been very lucky. First lockdown, we weren't allowed to work. But since then, we've been allowed to work. The government allowed us to continue working. It's slowed things down quite a bit. We have to sort of be very careful. We're sort of very lucky that we're allowed to work, but we have to employ a whole coronavirus quarantine team.
Yeah.
And they sort of make sure. So we have to work alongside their sort of things. We have sort of, we've got loads of COVID protocols. Every job has different set of protocols that we have to follow. Now we're all used to it. It's a lot easier. At the start, it's quite difficult trying to keep departments separated.
Yeah.
But there wasn't that cross risk.
Yeah.
Now we just we don't have to think about it so much now. It's just a matter of course, hopefully soon it'll calm down a lot more and we can go back to working as we did before.
Yeah, me too. Right, perfect. Well, thank you for chatting, Dean.
That's okay.
Have a good rest of the day, all right?
Yeah, well, you can come out and work with me one day, eh?
Yeah, I'd love it. Let's do it.
Start a new job next week.
Perfect. Sounds brilliant.
Cheers. Ta-ra, Vince.